How many territory funerals have you attended so far this year? In today's video, I will make sure the next territory funeral you attend is not yours. In 1993, thanks to so much rain, our corn crop got planted very late. In fact, it was planted so late, and the weather stayed so cool during the growing season, that the crop had no hope of getting mature before fall frost. The government recognized this and allowed farmers to plow their crop under before harvest. And because everything was delayed so much, many of the 42 sales reps I led at that time were busy talking about how difficult the sales season was going to be. I started hearing funeral talk early in the selling season and continuously, so I decided to address it. I got our team together and asked them, what are the two most common words you hear at funerals? They didn't know the answer to that question. I told them it was the words, if only, and explained how those two words were about expressing regrets. I told them that at the end of this sales year, regardless of the outcome, we would not have regrets. We would take what was dealt us and put together a plan that would allow us to get more business than all the other companies out there who were also wallowing in funeral talk. We would forget any mistakes we had made up to that time and start anew that very day. That talk gave everyone a new outlook on the year and a new energy to attack the year. It paid off with a handsome increase in sales. This year has also been a challenging year for seed sellers. Everywhere. So many farmers have resisted planning for next year's crop. And even though there isn't a single grower who can support the reasons he gives for delaying his plans, farmers' resistance to planning ahead has again carried on since planting season. That means many orders have not been written. As a result, many sales reps find themselves stuck, far short of their sales goals, because they neglected to make serious adjustments to those kinds of grower attitudes during the most prime part of the selling season. They didn't change their sales approach so they could take back control of their sales year and stay on track to achieving the sales they needed when they needed them. Many field sellers whose sales are not where they want them to be this time of year are filled with regrets. They're mourning their unwillingness to heed warnings and change how they had been trying to get sales once growers had taken control of their sales calendar. When these feelings of regret set in, seed sellers tend to go into the same funeral mode and funeral talk that I experienced with my sales team. There are two words that I frankly despise. If only. If only market prices would go back up. If only we could lower the price of our seed to help farmers stay in business. If only I had more time to make my sales goals. If only I would have started selling earlier. If only I would have developed a storybook and practiced and role-played more. If only I would have dressed up so I would have stood out more from my competitors. They repeat over and over. If only I would have done this. If only I would have done that. The problem is funeral talk doesn't get you anywhere. The past is the past, it cannot be changed. The key is to stop beating yourself up and move forward. This is not a funeral year, nor is it a funeral marketplace. The opportunity to get sales is not over, and someone needs to go out and get those sales. Every seed seller who's experienced regrets needs to go through a personal cleansing. Otherwise, regret will destroy the rest of their year. At this point in the selling season, a purification process needs to be done so sellers can move on. Anyone who continues to hang on to regrets will stagnate. So if you're a seed seller in that position, you need to let go of the past because you have the power to do it. Just follow these 6 key steps. Step 1, take responsibility. Admit that you are the reason you're in the situation. All seed selling success or failure occurs one customer at a time. You are the only real value a farmer gets when he buys seed. The only difference in whether or not a sale is made is you. Once you admit that, you can move on. Step 2, forgive and forget. Whatever happened in the past no longer matters. You must forgive yourself. Forgiving yourself is important because it signifies a mental shift from being a victim to becoming the solution. If you did your best, you have no reason to feel bad. But if you knowingly did not do your best, consider yourself lucky you still have a job. Start today and give your company your best work. Step 3, leave it all on the field. We know that we're almost into the fourth quarter of the sales season, but there is no reason to panic. There's still seed to be sold, and every grower is fair game. Maximize your sales by doing everything you can until the planters stop rolling in the spring. Step 4, put your plan on paper. Beside each goal you have in place, list the things you're going to do to achieve that goal. You can't achieve goals without a plan. Step 5, make prospecting the cornerstone of your plan. You know, I've been preaching all year long that the only secret to success in this kind of marketplace is getting new customers that can help compensate for sales that are lost or delayed. And the best thing about prospecting is it can be done any time of the year. Prospecting is a strategy that has no finish line. Successful prospecting keeps you moving forward. If you prospect 3 to 4 days every week until spring, you will not only reach your sales goal, you will probably exceed it. A sales rep that prospects for new business every year never has to deal with regrets. So create a prospecting calendar and follow it. Step 6, take growers to visit their fields. I don't care how many times you've been in a farmer's field this year. Take him there again. What does the average farmer do every time he leaves his farm? He looks at his fields as he drives by them. Farmers love looking at their fields, regardless of the time of the year. It allows them to dream about what they're going to be doing with that field next year. Field visits this time of the year are extremely powerful strategies. They not only set up order confirmation, but they also put the farmer in a positive frame of mind. He loves talking about his goals for each field and what he plans to do to achieve those goals. The best part of every field visit is when you drop him off after looking at his fields, his attitude is more positive than it has been all season. Everyone feels good when they're organized and have their plans in place far in advance of needing them. There is so much opportunity to make this year a success as long as seed sellers refocus, regroup, and follow 6 steps. Remember, this is not a funeral year. Therefore, there is no place for funeral talk. You can't let the past control your future. Every result that comes from your sales territory, good or bad, is a result of what you did or did not do to control it. Free yourself from destructive thoughts and get refocused. If you have regrets because you didn't work to your potential, you should feel bad. But if you did everything you could, don't feel bad. Just let it go. You have the power to take back your sales season, so do it. It doesn't matter what anyone else says or does, because any results are going to come from you and you only. The potential to win still exists. So finish this year strong and plan for next year so that the words "if only" never come out of your mouth. Happy selling. I'm Osthus.